I'm at Uptown Royalty. We fight for all DC, who are we? I speak facts, facts. I'm not making riddles. The Hawks open big old holes for John Riggle. Chantella's on the team, and you knew that he was smashing. Daryl Green is on the team, and you know nobody faster. Thought you was gonna score, but I knew that he would catch her. And Doug Williams was the first black quarterbacker to win the big dance. Got 3 rings, win in the big dance. When you got Joe Gibbs, you got a good chance. Let me tell you something about some good fans. Back in the day, RFK was our palace. If you don't know, you need to ask about us. Think we're gonna lose? Well, I can't believe you doubt us. Had the whole crowd screaming out, "We want Dallas!" Those haters can't stand us. Left hand up. Who are we? The Commanders. 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 We fight for all DC. Who are we? The Commanders. Commanders.
We're the Commanders. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Lead Commander, this video is for you. I hope that you appreciate my efforts, my guy. We kid. We're poking fun, yet little less than a little more than 2 weeks outside of the start of the regular season, and all the ugly games are behind us. We are getting ready for cutdowns, and more importantly, we're getting ready for some real football. Lead Commander, I didn't make that video. That's not me. You can't run away from that. Commanders, welcome, 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 everybody. This is the time of the year where I like to give my predictions as to what the NFC East teams are going to do. We are starting in no particular order, but we will leave the Cowboys for last. Okay, just because I'm a Cowboy YouTuber. I am going to give my attempt to the schedule predictions with the Washington Commanders, or as I like to call them, the Commandos. This is how I see it happen. You know what's really going to happen. They're going to probably win games that they shouldn't, and they're probably going to lose games that they should win. That's how it works, but things seem to balance out. I did a pretty darn good job last year. So we are going to attempt to do the schedule prediction. And as to not give it away, right at the end of my prediction, I will put up the complete schedule grid with all the W's and L's and the final score. But I didn't want to put it into the thumbnail because I didn't want to chase people off. I want you to have to watch as we go through each game. We'll look at the line, and we'll go from there. It should be fun. Again, I'm going to put that at the end of the video. I'll let it sit there for a while before I roll credits. But we got to go through this together. Okay, that's the only way that I see how this is going to work. We're going to go through it together, people. And week 1, out of the gate, we got the Washington Commanders. I'm going to switch cameras. Well, I'm going to leave it here. We're going to leave this here. You are opening at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Let me pull the line up. Everybody. Philadelphia. 76. Washington Commanders, 425 at the Pirate Ship in Tampa Bay. The Buccaneers opened up as a 4.5-point favorite. It has most of the casinos have it at 4 and 3.5, as the Buccaneers are the favorite. I think you're going to have some excitement with the Commandos. I think there's going to be more excitement with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are coming off a playoff win. Yes, a playoff win with Baker Mayfield at the helm, a playoff blowout against the Philadelphia Eagles. They're going to carry that momentum into game one, and they are going to beat the Washington Commanders, who start out the season 0-1 in a toughly contested battle. But again, a rookie quarterback is not always a good thing on the road, game one. He has a lot of stones. He's got some weapons. Dan Quinn's going to bring some excitement. But I think game one is going to be too much for the Commandos. Tampa gets the W, 0-1. We move on to week two. Week two, scrolling through. Week two, the Commanders come home. Yes, the Washington Commanders come home to face the New York Football Giants. Yes, a 1 p.m. showdown at the sewage plant there at Landover, Maryland. I've been there multiple times. I actually think the stadium is decent. I don't have a problem with it, but that's coming from a guy who grew up at the Vet, right? So it's fine it's not one of these newfangled things, that's for sure, but we shall see. We shall see. Commanders are a home underdog. Yes. Believe it or not, they are a home underdog. They're a 2.5 point. Excuse me. Stop the presses. 2.5 point favorite. Some have it at 3. Going to be a very close game. Very, very, very. They could lose this game. But with all the excitement of Dan Quinn and the New York Football Giants, divisional game could go either way. I believe the Commandos eke out a win, maybe in overtime. Not sure. We don't know what we're going to get with the Giants. The Giants are a wild card, so we'll get to the Giants on another day. But we got the Commandos opening their home opener in Landover, Maryland, with a W against the division foe New York Giants, leaving them with a 1-1 record. A 1-1 record. Again, they could be 0-2 here, but for the sake of this argument, I think they're going to be too much for the Giants. Giants lost a lot. They gained. Their defense should be better. There's a lot of question marks about the Giants. They're my hardest prediction. So 1-1 after 2, they beat the Giants, go 1-0 in the division. You're not looking badly, Commander. 1-1. You're right there. You're probably, most likely, you're tied for first in the division at this point. Week 3 matchup. This is where, in my opinion, the schedule is just not forgiving for the Commandos early on. The Washington Commanders, in prime time, Monday Night Football, travel to Cincinnati Bengals, where the Bengals are a 7. I see 6.5. I see 7. They're a touchdown favorite at home. The Bengals roll here. Sorry, everybody. The Bengals roll here on Monday Night Football in September. Tough spot for Jaden Daniels. He's going to get a nice stage. Good for Jaden. I'm happy for the kid. He was my favorite quarterback coming out of the draft. I think he doesn't quite have the tools that a Caleb Williams has, but I think he has some intangibles that Caleb does not have. That being said, they go to Cincinnati and they take an L. Monday Night Football, drop to 1-2 after 3 games. Tough. That's a tough spot, in my opinion. Nothing to be upset about with the Washington Commanders. Nothing to be upset about. Week 4. Believe it or not, week 4 sees the Commanders hit the road yet again. Okay, they see him hit the road again. Going from Cincinnati, they come home. That's not a bad flight at all. Then they got to travel clear across the country to face the Arizona Cardinals, who I believe are going to contend for that division. I'm not going to do a schedule prediction for that division, but I really like the Cardinals this year. I do. They're going to be giving the 49ers a lot of headaches, as well as the Seattle Seahawks. I think it's a three-team battle for that division, in my opinion. But you got the Rams as well. The Rams too. Rams, Seattle, Arizona are all going to give 49ers trouble. I don't have the 49ers winning that division again. I had the Commanders losing again. They're a 3-point underdog on the road against the Cardinals. Kyler Murray's tough at home. We know that as Eagle fans. Kyler Murray came into the link last year and busted up the Eagles towards the end of the year when the Eagles had to have a game. Again, that's a tough schedule, people. After 4 weeks, I got the Commandos at 1-3, and their losses, it's not being a stretch. I hope for their sake that they do win that Giant game. Giants are going to be throwing a lot at them. Giants have added some offensive punch. The defense has gotten better. It's all going to come down to Devin Singletary and that offensive line giving Danny Dimes some time to throw. I'm giving you a win there. So I think I'm being generous. 1-3 after 4. And you come home. You come home here. Week 5. Let me see. Another tough game. I mean, I went back and forth over this game. I really did. But if I'm going to have, most likely, I'm going to have my Cowboys losing at Cleveland. Cleveland's going to come in with the dynamic defense that they have, which it is dynamic. They're coming into the Commanders as a 4-point, I see 3.5 in most spots, 3.5 point favorite on the road, which is like 6.5, 7. That's a tough spot. You got Deshaun Watson fighting for his career, who said he looks really good. Amari Cooper, Jerry Jeudy. That unbelievably tough defense. Commanders are an underdog at home. This could be a spot where they shock, where maybe they lose to the Giants and beat Cleveland. That's one of those situations, but I'm not giving them a win at home against the Browns. The Browns come in. Myles Garrett has his way. There we go, people. Sorry to tell you, but you lose again. So that drops you to 1-4 after 5. You are a big underdog at home. Not a great start for the Commandos. Not a great start, but for a young team, you're going to lose a lot of these games close. It's going to be disappointing. It's like what I told you about the Cowboys, where Dallas's record may not be as good, but they may be a better team by the end of the year than they were last year. This is where they're definitely a better team. Early on, their record is not great. Okay, we go to week 6. They hit the road in Baltimore. Just a hop, skip, and a jump away. Baltimore Ravens are lights out at home, people. Again, the schedule makers did them no favors. None at all. Lead commander, I'm sorry. You sit here as a 9-point underdog on the road. I see 8.5 in a lot. 1 o'clock start, right down not far away, 45-minute drive, maybe an hour. Washington Commanders at the Ravens, 8.5, 9-point underdog. They take the L again. It looks bleak in Landover, Maryland. Dan Quinn sees some bright spots. I don't think they're bringing out the bags, for the head. But you drop to 1-5 after 6 games. 1-5 after 6 games. But I will tell you, looking at my prediction, good things are coming. Good things are coming along the way. Week 7, they come home to their friendly confines of FedEx Field. I don't believe it's called FedEx Field anymore, but you know what I mean. Week 7, you come home against a team who is going to be fighting for the worst, in my opinion, being one of the top 3, 4, 5 teams in the league. This is a way for you to get healthy, my commander people, and a healthy you will be. The Washington Commanders are a 4:05 start in Landover against the Carolina Panthers. You're only a 3-point favorite. I don't care. Washington takes care of Bryce Young and the young Carolina Panthers. I think they take care of business, and they get their second win of the year. They get their second win of the year. So that puts us at that puts the Commandos at 2-5 after 7 games. Now, just to let you know, their bye week isn't until week 14, which is actually a good bye week, but that's tough, especially when you're getting some losses. So you're 2-5 after 7. You stay home. You stay home against a team who I really like this year. Week 8, I really like the Chicago Bears, but they're also dealing with a rookie quarterback. I think after Jaden Daniels is the type of guy who is going to build some momentum here. Right now, the Commanders are a 2 to 2.5 point favorite at home against the Bears. Bears have a lot of talent on offense. I think overtime, field goal game. I think the Commanders, I'm going to give you the win here. A 2-point line tells you that it's kind of a Chicago line on the road. They're saying that Chicago might be better, have more weapons. I don't know that. I'm going to defer here. Lead commander, I'm going to give your squad the W. It's a tough game for me to pick. They are the home team. Maybe if they were on the road, I would pick the Bears. We're going to give the Commandos the dub here. Okay, so now we're on a mini roll. This is a 2-game win streak here. So that puts us at 3-5 after 8 games. People say, oh, that's being rough. Did you listen to the teams I rattled off? Okay, 3-5. And what's kind of interesting here is week 9. Week 9, you travel and get the series with the New York Giants over. Week 9, November 3rd, 1 o'clock game at MetLife. Been there many times. Love the stadium. Let's see what the line is. Week 9, MetLife Stadium, 1 p.m. start. Giants are a 1.5 point favorite at home. I'm going to call you guys to split the season series. It may go where you lose to the Giants at home and then go to New York and win. Either way, I don't have it that way. I'm going to give you the home win. I'm going to give you the away L. I think that's fair. Giants have a good coach. Their defense, they've added Brian Burns. They got Dexter Lawrence in the middle. They're going to be good. So I think good game. Yet another low line and another really good game. But I'm going to give you the L. To me, that's fair. You split the season series with the Giants. If you beat the series, if you win both games against the Giants, then add yourself another victory at the end of this video. But I don't think so. I think a rookie quarterback going up against Daniel Jones, who I believe is going to be better this year. I don't know how much better record-wise, but he's got weapons. He's got the LSU kid, my favorite wide receiver in the draft. I mean, I like Marvin Harrison Jr., but I like that kid. But okay, so that brings you at 3-6 after 9 weeks. Now, next game, you come back home. This is a tough game. I want you to remember, lead commander, that I've been nice and I have not been nice. I believe this is a spot where I'm going to be nice again to you, which maybe I shouldn't, but I'm going to do it because I think you can get the W. I'm not sold on this team. Week 10, you come home at 1 o'clock, face off against the Pittsburgh Steelers on week number 10. The line right now is Commandos. You are a 1 point underdog, 1.5. Again, you could lose this game. I'm going to give you the win, Lead Commander. Lead Commander is a subscriber to my channel. I always like to shout him out. He's a good dude. I'm going to give you the win here against the Steelers. I don't know who the quarterback is of the Steelers. You know, when you have more than one, when you have two, you don't have any, if you know what I mean. It's like, at least we know Jaden Daniels is at the helm of the Commanders. I think you get the W here against the Steelers, and a much needed W, okay? Because you just lost a tough one at MetLife, which brings the record to 4-6 after 10 games. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4-6 after 10 games. Week 11, November 14th, a prime time matchup. Prime time matchup. Tough one, people. Again, this is a tough one. I've made it clear that I've thought that you should have beaten the Eagles twice last year. Riverboat Ron, he turned into no nutsack Ron. Pause. So he had you both, but you are a full 7-point underdog. Let's see here. Looks like it's a Thursday night game at the Link. 8:15 Thursday night. Let me just double check. Bing, bang, boom. Yes. Thursday night at the Link. Eagles tune you up. Eagles tune up a rookie quarterback. Now, I will say, this is the one, I said that they should have won both games, the Commanders. I mean, listen, they should have. You should have, could have, would have. You didn't. Now you got a rookie quarterback. I think he does very well against this Eagle defense, but I think it's just too much with this Eagle offense. I think the Eagles win the game. I think you come out of the game like I think the Commanders storm some sort of comeback. You come out of the game feeling very positive after, albeit a loss. That's a tough place to play, League Commander. 7-point underdog as of now. These are the types of games that Eagles will lose. But on Thursday Night Football, if it was on Sunday at 1 o'clock, I'd give you a better shot. I don't see it. The Birds fans are going to be nuts that day. You get an L in a tough, physical road, albeit 2.5 hours down the street, a contest on Thursday night, and then you have 7 days. 7 days to you come home for 7 days later. You host the division rival Dallas Cowboys. 1 o'clock, which is not a primetime game for you. I've been at the last few Dallas games where Dallas has dominated and won. November 24th, 1 o'clock, week 12. Let's look at the line. Washington is a 3.5-point underdog at home. So that's basically, it'll probably go up another half depending on what Dallas is doing. 6.5, 7-point. Coming off a rough game on the road in Philly, I think you come home and take an L here. I think Dallas comes in and takes care of business as they've been doing. They have a little something for Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn made some statements. Mike McCarthy's a hell of a coach in the regular season. He's won a Super Bowl. Dak's a very good quarterback, especially against the NFC East. His record against the East is really ridiculous. Dallas wins the game there. Dallas has a tough schedule. This is going to be like a kind of a break in the schedule, although it's a division game. Commanders always play Dallas tough, especially with excitement, new ownership, new head coach, brand new quarterback. I see Dallas winning the game here. Yeah, I mean, could you win? Yeah, potentially. But I got to keep it real, and I think you lose. So after 12 weeks, your record is you got 4 wins and 8 losses. 4-8, but get ready, League Commander. Get ready, because after The heartbreaking loss, maybe it's overtime, but you're going to lose to the Cowboys. And you're coming off back-to-back divisional wins after I gave you a win against the Pittsburgh Steelers. You stay home December 1st, and you play the Tennessee Titans week 13. I'm going to have you win this game. You're coming home, and I think this is where you start to get on a roll. There's a heart-to-heart in that locker room saying 4-8. We need to stop the losing now. We need to get our act together if we want any shot at the postseason. And the Washington Commanders, 1 o'clock game. They're a 1.5 point favorite at home against the Titans. They roll the Titans here. They roll the Tennessee Titans and the Tony Pollard and Will Levis, a.k.a. Bo Callahan. I'm going to give the Commanders the win here. Yes, I am. The Commanders will win, and that's going to bring them to, after 13 weeks of football going into their bye week, they have 1, 2, 3, 4. They got 5 wins and 8 losses. They're 5-8 going into the bye week. Listen, tough schedule. Very tough schedule. You got 4 games left to go. How will it work? How will it go down? How will it go down? And let's see exactly what happens. They're 5-8 going into the week 14 bye week, December 8th. They come out of the bye week, week 15, on the road, people, on the road. This is another one of those teams that I don't think are going to be very good. They may have some juice early on, but Washington Commanders set for yet another 1 o'clock game at the New Orleans Saints. New Orleans is only a 2.5 point favorite at home with the bye week, with all the extra time to game plan for the Saints. I think Jaden Daniels goes back to LSU, Louisiana, where he carved it up for a Heisman Trophy victory. I think he goes home and beats the Saints after a bye. Here we go, League Commander. Here we go. The future starts to reveal itself with Jaden Daniels getting some comeback against probably his childhood team. Maybe not, but that's where he played his college ball. So we get the W. So you're looking at 6-8 right now. You're sitting there 6-8, and week 16, you come home for yet another 1 o'clock game against a division rival. You're feeling strong. You're feeling excited. The Philadelphia Eagles had come into the Washington, Landover, Maryland, FedEx Field, whatever you want to call it. They're going to be an underdog. We know that. We know that they're going to be an underdog, but 1 o'clock, December 22nd, Commanders are a 3-point underdog, 3.5 in some casinos against a division rival. Merry Christmas, Philadelphia. Take the L. The Commandos win. Commandos, they should have won both last year. The Commanders beat the Eagles and split the season series. That Eagles defense at this point is, again, I'm not expecting much from this Eagle defense. Howie better go out and make a trade at the deadline for a linebacker at this point. You got some young corners. I pray that you guys don't suffer any injuries with Darius Slay or C.J. Gardner-Johnson, or it could get ugly quick. But I don't think that's the case. I think Eagles are talented enough offensively. But in this game, Washington gets the dub. They split the season series with the Birds. And listen, after the bye, they have corrected themselves in a big way. That is 2 games in a row after the bye, brings you to 7-8, just 1 away from the 500 mark. Things are looking good in Washington. Things are starting to click. Nobody wants to play the Washington Commanders right now because they're looking like we thought they were going to look with a rookie quarterback early on, and they're getting in gear. They stay home a week later. Well, This is one of those where they can flex it, right? They might flex it depending on Atlanta Falcons and what's going on. They play Atlanta Falcons week 17 at home. Let me just look at the line here. Week 17, the Commandos, there's no schedule for the game. There's no line for the game. A lot of people have Atlanta being really good. Kirk Cousins is old, coming off an Achilles. They got Michael Penix Jr. You'll probably be seeing Penix by this time. I'm not as big on the Falcons as a lot of people. I think Washington Commanders keep it going. Yes, they keep it going. And the Commandos get the W at home. Yes, they get the W at home to go to 8-8 and tie the season series. It's incredible, people. They're excited. Their future's looking bright. Dan Quinn's like, damn, we couldn't have, put some wins together. I think they're going to be eliminated from the playoffs by this point. I do. I do. But I gotta. You should be excited at this point. You really should be excited at this point. But I think that's where it ends for you guys. You're eliminated from the playoffs at this point. Week 18, you have to go into Dallas. Dallas is fighting for something at this point. Playoffs are on the line. Possible division is on the line. Week 18, I doubt there's going to be a line now. But, there's no lines on any games. But let's be honest, they're going into Dallas week 18. If Dallas were out of it, I could see you possibly winning. Dallas has too much to play for. If you were playing a home game at this point, I would definitely think that you would probably beat Dallas at this point. Now that everybody's settled in, Jaden Daniels is on a roll. You just won 4 in a row. You've won against Tennessee going into the bye. Then you've won your next 3. At New Orleans, home against the Eagles, home against the Falcons. You're flying high. Even after the win against the Falcons, you've realized that you have been eliminated from the playoffs. I think you take the L here. The only way you win is if Dallas is resting players. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think you take the L and you finish up the schedule at 8-9. Now, like I said, after this video, I will show you my graph. It'll be on there, and you can see exactly. You can pause your screen, look, and see where I have everything. Again, lead commander, 8-9, 9-8, best case scenario. I think that's where you guys are going to fall. I think your future looks bright with Dan Quinn, Jaden Daniels, and company. I just don't think this year. Your schedule's too hard early. I did give you wins against Pittsburgh, Chicago. I gave you a win against the Eagles on the road in New Orleans, Atlanta. I just think it's tough. I just think when you play Bucks, Bengals, listen, that first game, if you can win, like Dallas with Cleveland, if Dallas can find a way to win that game in Cleveland, that just add a win onto your schedule, because I don't think they can. I'm not going to predict they can. I'm going to be streaming it. I'm going to be hoping they can. They're only a 2-point underdog, but I have you losing at the Bucks week 1. If you can win that, then reverse this. You'll be 9-8, and then that Cowboy game is a little different. But we're going to stick with 8-9 for the Washington Commanders. There it is, people. Part 1 of a 4-part series that we're going to do. I will set this up for release later this afternoon. There it is, people. 8-9 for the Washington Commanders. And sorry, league commander, but it's a good step forward for your franchise. That being said, Game Time Brian is out of here. I don't know who I'll probably do the Giants next. New York Giants they're coming up probably tomorrow or Wednesday. Stay tuned. All right, everybody. I'll talk to everybody later. Peace.
Ready? Go ahead.
Dallas sucks!
No. We can't have that. Thanks, guys. So,
What we got going on here?
so who you taking? Who you guys taking?
Jaden Daniels.
That's who you should take. But you don't want to play there.
Get together. That's it. Get out of the way here.